Battle strategy and military tactics should be coming up in the next set of 10 questions from Carl Shoup's book, Test Your Bible Knowledge. Questions from the book are in the same order as the events in the Bible, and we are into a section of the Bible that is filled with military intrigue. With this set of 10 multiple choice questions, we should encounter spies, murder, and betrayals. We should also come across some foreshadowing regarding the eventual split of the kingdom. We'll also learn about King David and the devastating judgment that followed his sin with Bathsheba. Now, each question has 4 answer choices, and I'm going to try to pick the correct answer for all 10 and get a perfect score. Just like always, all of the questions include a reference from the King James Version of the Bible. Okay, I'm ready to start the next set of questions, and we'll begin with number 361. Okay, question number 361. The woman of Bahurim spread ground corn on a covering over a well's mouth to A. Speed the sprouting of seed corn by the moisture from below. B. Conceal the well from thirsty wayfarers. C. Trap her neighbor's poultry. Or D. Hide the messengers to King David from Absalom's servants. Okay, some of those answer choices are a little bit interesting, and we can eliminate some right off the bat. Conceal the well from thirsty wayfarers, that's not the correct answer. Feed the sprouting of seed corn by the moisture from below, that's not right either. I think that the correct answer here is choice D, hide the messengers to King David from Absalom's servants. So for 361, I'm going to pick D. Question number 362. When Absalom rejected the counsel of Ahithophel to pursue David with a small force and spare all of David's companions, Ahithophel A. defected to David, B. loyally obeyed, C. sulked in his house, or D. hanged himself. And I remember this story. The correct answer here is D, hanged himself. 363. Joab was replaced as commander of the armed forces under Absalom by his A. aunt's grandson, B. cousin's husband, C. nephew's father, or D. brother. Okay, this is the author's favorite type of question where you're supposed to know these people's family tree, and it's really kind of difficult here. I don't think that it was his brother, and it may have been his nephew's father, but I'm really not sure. And it could also be B, his cousin's husband. I don't think it's A, though, the grandson. So for question number 363, I'm going to make a guess here and say that it is answer C, the cousin's husband. And we'll have to just find out what the correct answer is in just a minute. All right, question number 364. Absalom's mule, having carried him under the thick boughs of a great oak so that his head was caught in the oak, Absalom was A. left hanging from the tree alive, B. killed immediately because his neck was broken, C. left standing but unable to move, or D. slowly strangled. I remember this story, and it's not D, slowly strangled. I remember that King David had given the warriors instructions not to kill Absalom, his son, and I remember that they disregarded those orders, so he must have been left hanging from the tree and alive, because I think that the rest of the military, and I think it was even Joab, came over and killed Absalom. So I'm going to pick answer choice A, left hanging from the tree alive. 365. David's cry, "O Absalom," was one of A, triumph, B, rebuke, C, recognition, or D, grief. And I'm going to go right for D as my answer for 365, grief. 366. After he had helped win the battle in the wood of Ephraim for David, Joab was A, confirmed for life as commander of David's army, B, retired with honors and rich rewards, C, given David's daughter in marriage, or D, replaced by the commander of Absalom's forces, Amasa. I think that the answer here is D, that he was replaced by the commander, and I think it was because he had killed Absalom, but I'm not really sure. But I'm going to stick with my answer here for 366, and it is D, replaced by the commander of Absalom's forces, Amasa. 367. The 80-year-old Barzillai, when King David invited him to stay with him in Jerusalem, A, jumped for joy, B, backed off suspiciously, C, inquired about the accommodations, or D, gracefully declined. And here again, the answer is D, gracefully declined. I remember in the story, this man kept making a point of his age, and he decided not to go. So I'm pretty sure that the answer here is D, gracefully declined. 368. Upon his return to Jerusalem, David's 10 concubines, and then it says C number 360, were A, restored to David's bedchamber, B, executed, C, shut up for the rest of their lives, or D, hired out as prostitutes. And it is not D, hired out as prostitutes, and I don't think that it's B, so I am going to go for C, shut up for the rest of their lives, is my answer for number 368. Number 369. The head of Sheba thrown over the wall to Joab was that of A, rebel, B, queen, C, priest, or D, general? Okay, this is a pretty good question. I remember that Sheba, I believe, had taken over, but I don't remember if it was the priest or the queen. But if he had taken over, it must be a rebel. So I'm going to go for answer number A here for 369, and we'll have to see what the real answer is in just a second. All right, question number 370. All that the Gibeonites said they wanted as reparations for Saul's attempts to destroy them was 7, A, cities of Israel to occupy, B, concubines of David to prostitute, C, men of the sons of Saul to hang, or D, years of peace. And I know the answer for this one too. It is C, men of the sons of Saul to hang. I think that the Gibeonites and Saul had some sort of an agreement and it was violated, and this is what they wanted as restitution. So my answer for 370 is C. Okay, that's 10, and now we'll move on to the back of the book where the answers are waiting for me, and I'll go to number 361 here on the second page of the answers. I put down D, and the correct answer is D, and that question was the one about the seed corn, the ground corn that was spread over the mouth of the well, and the correct answer, hide the messengers to King David. All right, moving on to 362. The correct answer for that one is D also, and that's what I wrote down here, D. That question was the one about Absalom rejecting the counsel of Ahithophel, and it was in fact D, that he hanged himself. 363. The correct answer is A, and I wrote down D. So let's go back and see what that question was all about. And it was the question about the relationship, and it was kind of a guess on my part. And the correct answer is A, the aunt's grandson. So look at that. Got that one completely wrong when I picked B, the cousin. All right, 364. The correct answer for that question is A, and I wrote down A. That question was the one about Absalom and what happened to him after his head got stuck in the oak tree, and the correct answer, left hanging from the tree alive. All right, 365. The correct answer for that question is D, and I wrote down D. That question, David's cry, "O Absalom," it was in grief. 366, the correct answer there is D also, and that's what I wrote down here. That question was the one about Joab and what happened to him after the battle, and he was replaced by the commander of Absalom's forces, Amasa. 367, the correct answer is D, and I wrote down D. The question there was about the 80-year-old Barzillai, and he did gracefully decline David's invitation, which was answer choice D. 368, the correct answer there was C, and I wrote down C. That was the question regarding the concubines, the 10 concubines, and what their fate was after David returned, and they were shut up for the rest of their lives. 369, the correct answer for that question is A, and I wrote down A. That question was the one about the head of Sheba, and Sheba was a rebel, which was answer choice A. All right, the last one, 370. I wrote down C, and the answer is C, so that's great. That question had to do with the Gibeonites and what they wanted as reparations, and it was men of the sons of Saul to hang, which was answer choice C. Okay, out of that 10, I was able to answer 9 correct, so that's not too bad. Of course, it's one shy of 100, but I'll still take the 90. I think that these questions were fairly straightforward. I remember this story. I've read it many times, so I'm pretty satisfied with the 90%. All right, well, we're almost finished with the book of 2 Samuel, and in fact, the next set of 10 questions will wrap up the book of 2 Samuel, and we'll move on to the book of 1 Kings. And in that book, we learn about the end of King David's reign, and we'll be introduced to his successor. It's a really good book, and it gives you a glimpse into the everyday life, I think, of the people at that time. I'll also get another chance to get a perfect score, and we'll have to see what happens.